there's something that is going down with us that the major powers know at this particular time right now that they're focused on. So no matter what you do and no matter what you're thinking with Iraq and all the other stuff that's going on about here, it's still about what's going on with us at this particular time,
right.
Despite the behavior of black people, which is
right.
insane.
That's right.
Which is insane. We are the messianic people.
That's right. Right.
You see what I'm saying? And there's a lot of groups that's jealous of that.
That's right.
Find it.
Sure.
We're glorifying it. Like they even had a special on TV, whereas half the rappers and stuff is glorifying this particular aspect of the whole pimp gang thing. You see what I'm saying? Also, we know that they are promoting cultures to breed a brother getting locked down. That's the mystery, because we do know that in actuality, just like in Texas, they have locked up so many brothers in Texas until now they're starting to lock up the sisters. Why is this? Because we're talking about billion-dollar industries based on that and all, you see. In the long run, there will be a great separation. We're looking at something that behind the scenes is going on, where the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you will know the end when there's infighting amongst the elite. So for the mere fact that they got this infighting going on, there's something major happening. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, we talking about the ending of a society. This thing is still, don't let nobody fool you. This thing is still about us in this country.
That's right.
That's the great mystery. They got thousands of black people on dialysis now. You go to a dialysis thing, it's like a football field. The mystery here is that they are actually shutting down the kidneys when people go to the hospital. They have the type of technology to go in and shut down your kidneys. This is long before you even have kidney problems. You see what I'm saying? They are actually shutting down the kidneys because this big business in dialysis. Yeah, all of this, not only that too, they're talking about 50% of kids the age of 10, 11, and 12 with high blood pressure.
Look at that. High blood pressure. You talking about
high blood pressure at age 10.
Yeah, but they don't play no ball. They don't do nothing.
And all, but my point here is even if they never did, it never did. The whole concept of, and this is all black kids. Hell, this is all black kids. You see what I'm saying? The white kids ain't getting it. Hell, they sitting in front of a computer screen. They're not coming down with it. You see what I'm saying? They're not coming down with it. You see, we talking about 50% of high blood pressure with a child 10. You see, you got to ask yourself these questions. Now, when I was growing up, only way you got diabetes, you was born with it. Then all of a sudden in the 1980s, you started getting it by being overweight. Well, what about the people? So you see what I'm saying? This type 2 diabetes. This is all ingested. This is all an inception. This is all orchestrated. You see, we're talking about designer disease or designer malfunctions. What's that, brother? Well, number one, Dick Gregory said something. That the asthma is coming from dehydration. Most of this is we don't get enough water. Now, melanin and water goes together, you know, in the alchemical aspect. That's why most of our civilizations birth through some type of waterways, some type of rivers. Water and melanin goes. So a lot of the time and Dick Gregory talked about this, that most of the asthma we're talking about is based on dehydration. Now, then you got to ask this particular question here. 90% of processed foods dehydrate you.
Well, that's sodium.
Which is sodium. You see what I'm saying? Dehydrate you. Even in stuff that's not salty, just got salt in it. Even some sugar products.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So we're talking about basic, that's this basic diet, that it's dehydration. You see what I'm saying? We don't get enough water. One of the concepts, we don't get enough water. You think the TV sets are bad now, and this was 10 years ago. They say wait until the 1990s come. No, they wait until the 2000 come. What they're going to put in the TV sets are going to be devastating. Now, around 1998, 99, they came out with high-definition TV.
That's right.
Right. Now, that technology now is going down to just a regular, any TV you get is that high definition past 2000. What this thing does is this. It scrambles the brain. These TVs are directly designed to attack the pineal pituitary gland. You see what I'm saying? So we're talking about that type of technology. A brother came from Philadelphia, a good friend of mine, bought me a widescreen TV. Said, nah, man, you got to get rid of this 19-inch. Bought me a widescreen TV, and within a week of watching it, my left eye started getting red. One day I can see, one day I can't out of the eye. I'm saying, wait, hold on. If my sight is going bad, number one, it wouldn't go bad in one eye, and number one, why is it good one day and I can't see the next day? It had nothing to do with my eyes. It has something to do with the scrambling of the pineal gland and pituitary gland, which is connected, you see what I'm saying, to sight. So in actuality, it was an inner aspect that was going on. And so the high definition TV, that's why right now, if you got any TVs from 2000 on up, never watch them in the dark.
That's right.
And make sure there's a certain amount of light in the room. And based on how wide the screen is, if it's a big screen, make sure that you got a certain amount of length between you and where you're sitting and that actual TV, because this is war against the pineal technology. And so what this is doing here is keeping people still in a zombified state. We're still talking about major warfare. So I say that about the doom and gloom to tell you this. Despite them being all over the world, with all the wars, there's something that is going down with us that the major powers know at this particular time right now that they're focused on. So no matter what you do and no matter what you're thinking with Iraq and all the other stuff that's going on about here, it's still about what's going on with us at this particular time, despite the behavior of black people, which is insane.
That's right.
Which is insane. We are the messianic people.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? And there's a lot of groups that's jealous of that.
That's right.
What we are about the business now is awakening.